This is the Stories from the Field podcast, a Delaware Farm Bureau production, sharing real stories from local farmers while educating the public on the agriculture industry. Hi, thank you for joining us once again on the Stories from the Field podcast. My name is Macy Carter, and I am co-chair of the Promotion and Education Committee, which is a part of the Delaware Farm Bureau. Today, we are here at Schreppler Fir Tree Acres in Magnolia, Delaware, with Paul Schreppler. Schreppler's Fir Tree Acres is a family-owned and operated Christmas tree farm. In 1952, Joe and Dorothy Schreppler and their son Paul moved to the 29-acre farm and began growing vegetables. However, the Schreplers transitioned and decided to plant evergreen seedlings to harvest as Christmas trees. In December of 1963, the family sold their first Christmas tree. During the 1990s, Paul and his wife Linda expanded the farm's tree plantings to 10 acres. They currently grow 3,000 trees, ranging from 6-inch seedlings to 9-foot trees. Their daughter Lisa and son-in-law Neil Donaldson assist with the shearing and pruning, as well as with the sales during the Christmas season. For the Schreppler family, tree growing is a family tradition. Thank you for having us, Paul.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate that.
Of course. Going to give you a little introduction and background into your farm. Now, I know we just touched on your family's history, but can you just give us some more detail from your point of view on how you started Christmas tree farming?
Well, George Vappa years back, way back, was Department of Agriculture, I guess, county he was in charge. They had a seedling farm down in Elmdale. That's where they grew all the seedlings for the state, and then people got them when they're. So anyhow, one day he came home with a pickup full of seedlings because the season was getting over and they had all these trees. So my dad thought, well, we'll plant these trees. So we started across the street. We planted all these trees with a transplanter like you plant tomatoes with or whatever back then. And that's where it got started. And then one thing after another, we went on from there.
Very nice.
Anyhow, that was basically the
So
beginning.
what kind of inspired you? This isn't, a traditional vegetable or grain operation. What inspired you to grow Christmas trees instead of other crops?
That's a good question. I don't really know. All I know is I was told what to do and how to do it back then, and when
Following your parents.
Still in high school.
Yeah.
And one thing after another, and we just kind of picked up on that, and went on. My dad,
And that's great. And you said your children are involved as well.
Yeah, they're not a question. Got 2 grand, but both of them are in college now, and but like I say, they come down where we need them, and we got 4 or 5 other young people to help us with that. They pick them out, we cut them, shake them, and bale them.
That's great. That's wonderful. Now, what types of trees do you grow here?
All Douglas fir.
They're all Douglas fir?
All Douglas fir.
And why do you grow them?
That's a good question. They grow probably nicer than some of the others. We tried 2 or 3 of the different firs and some white pine. They don't make the shape or whatever, and plus, like the spruces don't hold the needles. That's the other thing. These will hold your needles hot, cold, better than all the rest of them. Now, the Fraser fir, a lot of them bring them down from Pennsylvania, but they don't grow the best here either. People's tried them, but we just stayed with what we got.
So Douglas fir is
good, bad,
the
or
best.
Whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody's satisfied with them, and they'll grow the other day. So we just take ours down until February. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you keep it watered, that's the secret. You got to get it home and get it in the water, not leave it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that butt takes up the water.
Great. Now, how long does it take for a tree to grow to the right size?
Probably 6 to 7 years for a 6-foot tree.
6 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So how long have
5
these?
to 7. These been here, but these probably some of them 6, some of them 7.
Gotcha. So you really have to focus on timing when you're planting and preparing.
Yeah, but it's nice to get them in now. Later on, we used some drip irrigation in them when they were little. When they were first planted, the first couple of years. Across the street, we had some of the younger stuff to keep out water on them so the roots get established and get an even growth with the tree. You know what I mean? By keeping that water on them.
Now, what kind of maintenance does it take to care for these trees all year long? What do you have to do throughout the seasons?
Well, it starts out now. We didn't do a lot of fertilizing. We soil sample and put fertilizer and lime on, depending on what they need, what soil samples need. But like say, it's basically we spray in between down the row, in between the trees by hand for the weeds and grass, and then mow in between. We also spray them 2 times for disease and bagworms, and there's about 3 different things there as a preventive maintenance. You know what I mean? Because the bagworms in a week's time will take over if you don't keep that up. You know what I mean?
That was my next question. How do you deal with pest or diseases?
Yeah, well, like I say, you just April 15th, by the first spray for disease or what might be disease. You know, you don't know what, but just like you do with vegetables, you know, you're spraying, you don't know whether you're going to have disease or not, but you
want to prevent it.
Want to prevent it, right? You want to prevent it. In the bagworms, usually, maybe you'll start to see a little one here and there, but then you know, in the last couple of years, we haven't had a bad problem with bagworms. That's unusual because usually they're
so bagworms are the pests that
bagworm makes that little bag on there.
Okay.
You know, and then the seeds are in that bag. And try to keep them and make sure if you pull them off, say you burn them or whatever, so they don't, because you throw them on the ground, they're looking.
Yeah, they'll multiply.
Yeah, they'll come on. Yeah. September probably we irrigated. We got a small amount of water, but we did run them all over twice, as a matter of fact. But put on enough to keep the ground. You know, you can't put 3 inches on, but you can put enough to keep that ground moist to keep and keep in mind these trees have a deep root. You know what I mean? So they're really not, that little bit of water on top is not because the roots down a couple of feet in the ground with taproot, so they'll survive better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you get the water further in the ground.
The rain comes, but that helps seal the ground up so it don't dry out so quick.
So you really need to irrigate.
There's a lot of, and then the trimming part. That's for September, middle September. We usually go through and just trim off the loose stuff and tops and whatever it needs.
Look decent, yeah. So as for the holiday season, obviously right now we are about to enter your really busy season, but how do you prepare for that? What are you doing in the few weeks or maybe months before the Christmas holiday? And
sitting in the house having an ulcer.
Oh no, I'm sure it's stressful to prepare.
No, we haven't. We just working on the signs. We're gonna put the signs up too. We got a Christmas tree sign here with the holes in it where the kids can go in and put their face in their pictures.
Marketing, like a
real simple
display.
thing, but it's a big thing with the
kids.
Call that ag tourism, I guess, or whatever. Yep. But basically, we get our signs up down the corner. We're gonna put that. We got one end of the road down the corner. We're gonna put that up today. And let them break into it a little bit early. All the stores got Christmas stuff out 3 weeks ago. So.
Yep. I know everyone's getting excited for it, and
yeah.
They're going to be ready to pick out their Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Now, how do you decide when families are out here? Are all these trees ready to be cut and take home?
They can cut any here for the same price.
Great. They can cut any tree they pick.
They can pick any tree they pick. Like I say, they just raise a hand. We got a fellow on a 4-wheeler that does all the cutting and
great
little trailer that brings them up here, and then these guys shake them and bale them.
So you'll cut the trees for them.
So he cuts them, brings them up, and then they shake them, wrap them, and ask them where their car is.
Put in their car.
Try to whatever.
Take it home to put in their living room. Now that's great. Now, do you have regular families and customers that come back every year?
Oh yeah. We got some people on 3rd generation that.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Try to satisfy everybody.
Yeah, make the customers happy. Now, do you do any advertising or marketing for your business?
A couple calendars, a couple organizations have a calendar. We support that, but other than that, no, not a whole lot of. The signs probably on this road, very highly traveled road, more so now than ever because we got another school right around the corner here. We got another school across the street. We got another school in Magnolia.
That's good business.
Getting a variation there.
Yeah, that's I see that.
It's good if you're not driving trying to get in that.
Right.
But anyhow.
It's good to bring people to your farm.
Oh yeah, and we enjoy it. That's the whole thing. I could go on whatever, but getting the people to see what goes on. A lot of people ask questions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got a pack of cards. I don't have them in my pocket, but everywhere I go in the last 3 weeks, get a handful of those cards.
That's great.
This card
Pass them out.
would tell us what we do, hours and the whole thing, in the doctor's office, the whatever, everybody
Yeah.
run into. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. Word of mouth. And
where you get your Christmas tree? Oh, well, we got an fixed one, but we didn't know they were. You don't even know you're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
just takes sharing your story and telling people.
Yeah. That's right.
That's
right.
wonderful. And
that's right.
Hopefully, with this, we can help as well with your business.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Like I say,
yeah.
And we got some people come out and take pictures. A few will bring the family, take a family picture. You know, we don't. Some people go crazy with that, but we're not looking for that. If they're going to get a tree and they got 2 or 3 in the family going to get a tree, we're not going to argue for 10 minutes if they want to take some pictures with.
Yeah. Now, how has the Christmas tree market changed over the years? Like, how do you compete with artificial trees or?
Yeah, there's a lot of people with artificial trees, but there's a lot of people. I just talked to a lady, went into ask her where she got a tree artificial, but we didn't even know you were there, where there was any, you know. So I said, well, you're welcome, come look around. You know, we're open Saturday and Sunday after Thanksgiving we don't stay open all week. But no, that's a welcome to look around, do whatever. If you don't like it, there's nowhere else to go now because everybody's either phased out or passed away. You know what I mean? On the live trees.
Yeah. And is your plan to keep this farm going for the next?
No, we're not planning any. We haven't planned any more for 2 or 3 years. So we get over the rise with these, and there's a lot of cost in these trees, growing them and the care of them that people don't see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the cost, input cost.
The cost into it. No
going.
Different than any agriculture product.
Well, how important is it for the community support or the local traditions of these families to your business?
If they want a live tree, you don't need to, give them a sales pitch because now, some people haven't ever been here. Quite a few last year have never been here before. When you got to tell, just tell them a minute there what you're doing, what you don't do, and but take care of it. Wave your hand when you see. Real simple. You know what I mean?
Easy process, and I think it's great for families to come here and they'll have that memory of picking out their tree together.
Taking a lot of them taking the pictures with and we don't allow people to cut their own tree either for
safety.
Hand saw is one thing, but you don't want to get there come with a chainsaw. We do all the cutting. We don't do any. That way you're not got a liability with somebody cutting their foot off.
Now, as we wrap up our interview, I just wanted to ask some personal questions.
Oh, my dear.
Do you have any special traditions or events that you do as a family or on the farm during the holidays?
Well, there's only 3 of us, my daughter and son-in-law, my 2 granddaughters, and we'll, other than going to dinner, or go out, maybe do, something in between or whatever.
You definitely have a real Christmas tree, I hope.
Oh yeah, smaller than it has been.
Okay.
That's another thing. People come out and say, "Oh, I want that tree." And they look at it. I say, it's how tall it is. And once in a while, they'll say, "Yeah, we took it in the house and we set it up. The top went across the seal and took the paint up."
Oh my gosh!
You know what I mean?
Didn't even fit.
Scratch the seal on. So when Christmas over, they had to get the seal. We've had a couple of them.
Wow.
Go through that.
They don't.
Tree's bigger
than their ceiling.
To get it in the house. You know what I
mean? No, well, that's great. And then lastly, what is the most rewarding part of being a Christmas tree farmer?
Like say, just the agriculture roots, I guess you would say, would be, I could go on with from how things were then to how things are now and the prices and the agriculture is people just don't understand.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah, I can definitely see your passion for agriculture.
Whatever thing.
If you ate today, you can thank a farmer.
That's a real simple way of putting it.
Yeah, so important.
So important.
Yeah, I think a common theme in all of our podcasts has been we need to do a great job at sharing our story and advocating for agriculture so that the next generation knows where their food comes from. And the consumers know that American farmers are here to support you and provide healthy, safe food. Well, thank you so much for having us on your farm call.
I sure appreciate you coming out.
Of course, this was wonderful, and I hope that if you're looking for a Christmas tree this upcoming holiday season, come out to Schreppler for Tree Acres and support a local agricultural business and help the growing agriculture industry in our state.
Well, I thank you all for
thank you so much
for all coming out.
Thanks for having us.